We're going to read from the Forbes Advisor. This is what is a family trust and how do you set one up? It's a short read to enlighten certain beings of what is a family trust. Planning for what will happen to your wealth when you're gone can be hard to think about. Doing so now, though, can benefit you and your family, and it can help ensure your assets are protected and distributed the way you want. A family trust is an estate planning product that can help you legally determine who will get your assets when you die, as well as how much they will get. There are a variety of family trusts available depending on your needs and goals. They also can protect your loved ones from incurring additional costs or taxes in the future. What is a family trust? A family trust is any trust you set up that benefits members of your family. It's often used as a legally binding agreement to establish who will receive portions of your wealth after you pass away. This type of living trust can be either revocable, meaning you can alter the terms or cancel it entirely, or irrevocable, meaning you cannot modify the trust at all without the approval of everyone within it, depending on the type. There are typically three parties involved in a family trust: a grantor, the one that did it, they're going to say it, a grantor, a trustee, and a beneficiary. The grantor is the person who establishes the trust and whose assets will be dispersed according to what's laid out in it. The beneficiaries are the family members who will receive financial assets from the trust. A trustee is a person responsible for managing the assets in the trust on behalf of the beneficiaries, like our offsprings and everything, our future heirs. Types of family trust. There are many types of trust. The main difference between them include who the trust benefits, how the proceeds are taxed, and when the beneficiaries receive the assets. Some common types of family trust includes living trust. This type of trust holds your assets while you're still alive, as well as provides a plan for what happens to those assets after you pass away. Martial trust is an irrevocable trust that benefits the grantor's spouse. This trust avoids incurring federal taxes when it's transferred from the grantor to the beneficiary, meaning it won't be taxed and stuff. Charitable trust. If a grantor wants to leave assets to a specific charity, they could do so through the charitable trust. It'll be like, you know what I'm saying, if I put a charitable trust with the everything that the ministry make. And that way the ministry prosper. If Kokomo in your situation, if the barbershop, you put everything in the charitable to the barbershop. And whenever, you know what I'm saying, you transition, whoever take over the barbershop, they already got a trust and some funds set up. Generation skipping trust. These trusts are created to make large gifts to younger generations without having them incur heavy estate and gift taxes. Special needs trust, an important tool for recipients of supplemental security income, SSI, or Medicare. Income from this trust does not count toward income caps for these programs and can be used for a variety of certain related expenses like medication. So even people on Medicare and all that could have a certain trust and that wouldn't affect their trust. Spendthrift trust. A spendthrift trust limits how beneficiaries can access their assets. For example, a beneficiary to these trusts cannot sell or give away their equitable interest in the trust property. So it'll be like if Papa were to say, you know what I'm saying, we're passing down these amount of acres to everyone, but the stipulation is no one can sell their land. That's what that is. And a testamentary trust, that's the one Papa and Mama had. These trusts are created in a will and are irrevocable once the owner dies. Beneficiaries can only access their share of assets at the predetermined time. Why do you need a family trust? If you have assets that you want to pass on to your loved ones after you're gone, then a family trust will legally make sure they are left on your terms. A living family trust also ensures that your family will hopefully be able to avoid the sometimes painful, long, and expensive process of probate. Like what we going through, kind of like how we had to go through the accession. They wouldn't go through that. Probate refers to the legal process of distributing assets in an estate and usually occurs when the person who dies doesn't have a will or their estate is larger than the estate government's limit. Taking care of the process now through a family trust avoids the financial and emotional costs of the probate process. Like whenever Tiffy and them was tell us, "Hey, hurry up, man! This cost." We wouldn't have to go through that through a trust. How to set up a family trust. There are online options that can help you set up a family trust yourself. However, since this is an important legally binding document, it's best to meet with the estate planning attorney or financial advisor to determine the best type of family trust for you and to ensure the trust is set up correctly. For example, some states require that a trust is notarized and are filed with the local register of deeds. Failing to follow the laws of your state could make your trust invalid. So right here is all the trusts that I set up. I think I told Kokomo that. I'm gonna have attorneys look it over and make sure everything good, because I was doing them myself. So they're gonna look it over, make sure everything good, correct all the wrongs, award all the rights, and yep, that's how we gonna make sure that thing is all the way complete and right for our future and our wealth. After finding the appropriate professional to work with you, you'll need to identify who you want your beneficiaries and trustee to be. Your family trusts, the beneficiaries will be certain members of your family, while you can designate yourself or someone else as the trustee. After identifying the involved parties, you'll then determine how you want your assets split among your beneficiaries, meaning like our property, not just land, but all property. How you gonna disperse it amongst your offsprings or whoever you say beneficiaries is. You could have like people that you know what I'm saying you don't even know as your beneficiary. You can have people that you ran across that done good deeds for you. Hey man, he looked out for me a long time ago. I'm giving that man back, this, that. Whenever I pass away, and it'll be in your trust. Once the trust document is created, you'll transfer the relevant assets into it. Meaning, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why Dad and them had a trust whenever you got in that wreck. So the trust would allow, so nobody would, as long as all your property in that trust, nobody can't come take it because the trust own it. For example, if you'll be leaving your home to the beneficiary through your trust, then you'll transfer the home to the trust by transferring the actual deed. Since there are many moving parts to set up a family trust, as well as legal and tax implications, It's important to work with a qualified financial advisor or estate planning professional to ensure your trust is established exactly the way you want it to be. That's pretty much the short of that. So that's just to enlighten y'all on what it's about. Peace again.